Hello and good evening from York Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. Next to me this evening is Craig Barnes, and you're with us for the second time in 4 days. And the first game at home under the lights are visiting Southport, who come to take on Leamington. Leamington made it back-to-back home wins on Saturday as Max ran a strike that sealed the points in the last minute of regular time against Chorley, a side who had been unbeaten this season going into the weekend. The Breaks were also the first team to shut out Chorley with a clean sheet against the free-scoring Magpies, with credit going to the whole team's defensive output, but namely debutant keeper Rogan Ravenhill. The 19-year-old, in on loan from Barnsley just 48 hours before the game, produced a commanding display between the sticks and was noted in the National League's Team of the Week. Opponents this evening, Southport, are aptly nicknamed Sandgrounders due to the northwest seaside town being located on the sandy land and coastal dunes of the nearby Irish Sea. Come into tonight's game as the early basement team in the National League North. A win on game week 2 against newly promoted Worksop Town are the only points Southport have to credit at this stage, and since have suffered 4 defeats in a row, the latest on Saturday away to Scarborough. Torre will work it through the middle. He's got 1 goal to his name so far this season. He has a little bit of space to work it out to the right hand side, in towards the box. Shot comes in, brilliant save. Slew got the shot on target, and Ravenhill, like he did at the weekend after a number of good stops on his debut, makes another big save to keep Leamington level at 0-0. Brilliant save though, Craig, from Rogan Ravenhill.
It was a fast flowing move there from Southport, and there was Slew. He just thought he was going to stick it into the back of the net, but Ravenhill, as you say, from just like at the weekend, making himself big. Great save, instinctive save, and keeping the scores goalless. Can you tell me, Shaun, where has Neil Dan's been a thorn in Leamington's side before?
No.
He scored goals 8 and 9 in Colchester's FA Cup win against the Breaks back in 2005.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Craig Barnes is next to me as they work it in towards the path, and then it's inside the penalty area. The referee waves it away. There was a little bit of a late challenge on Collins. The Southport bench certainly felt that there was something doing. Then Farmer is clattered, and it's not a nice landing. He just rolled over the top of his shoulder. To be fair to Tom Moore, he was straight up trying to check on the welfare of Farmer, who just trapped his arm under his own body and slid across it. But wow, a yo-yo 30 seconds, Craig, as Patient Moore have an interesting conversation as they walk away from it. Farmer's back to his feet, but we'll go back to the penalty opposition as the ball came in towards Collins, Craig. Patient Collins just sort of got themselves in a little bit of a tangle. It's not too dissimilar to the D'Amico Burton one we saw that wasn't given at the weekend. It's more of a 50-50 if you want to try and be as neutral as possible, but wow, certainly an early appeal from Southport nonetheless.
Well, the whole Southport bench went up, didn't they? I mean, they're desperate for a break, desperate for a bit of luck, and possibly felt they should have had a penalty to settle them down in this one. I mean, Shaun's got a better view than myself, so Shaun would probably have a better indication. So unlike Saturday, I'm trusting his word on whether things are a penalty or not.
Williams. Ram now at the back. He's got plenty of time to advance into the Southport half and does so. Meredith on the right hand side looks for his options. William comes to offer short, but he opts for Evans, who's more in the centre of the park inside the centre circle. He tries to chip one over the top for Burton to chase. Burton's not going to get anywhere near that. Now Burton's out of position as they'll try and break with Lloyd down the right hand side, and Lloyd has got pace to burn. Gets away from Berridge in towards the centre of the park. Picks out the number 10 of Torre. Torre's got Slew on this left hand side, but the pass was short, and now they'll need to get back and defend well. Meredith advances. He's got Pace on the right hand side. He's put under pressure by the Southport retreating man Slew. Pace though gives it away. Williams then is caught high and late. It wasn't a neat challenge from Collins. He was certainly over the top. I don't think there was any real malice in it, but it's one of those challenges that if you're a Leamington player and you get there first, it's never going to look neat right in front of the referee's nose.
And it was quickly after another challenge, wasn't it, on this near side? So, but yeah, nasty looking challenge, and you can see Ewan Williams is in a bit of pain here.
Well, I think Collins will do well to avoid a booking. It, as I said, no real malice in the challenge. Both players honest challenge, both sort of 50-50. I think Collins is pleading that case to referee Neil Pratt, but I don't think he's going to escape with a booking. The good news is Williams is back on his feet. Lloyd swings the corner in. Pace heads it away. Berridge can't collect it on the edge, but Farmer can, and Farmer turns on the afterburners and goes for a run down the left-hand side, and Collins knows that he can't do anything silly on a yellow card over there. Farmer still running Collins. Collins then brings him down. I think it's fair to say that if Collins hasn't picked up a yellow card 5 minutes ago, he's almost certainly picking up a yellow card for that. And I think now they'll try and make that change, Craig, and I think it's probably smart management from Neil Dans, really. I think they know, like we said a second ago, that Collins maybe been a little bit lucky and they don't want to take any more chances. And I imagine that's going to be the man who's withdrawn. And I think that's exactly what Slew has come across to say to him, that it's potentially nothing to do with his performance, it's just a risk that Neil Dans, the 42-year-old manager of Southport, doesn't want to run for the final hour of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often you see a player substituted this early in a match, particularly without an injury and stuff, as if to say, I've taken you off for your own good.
Evans positions himself well, heads it down to the middle of the park. Hill seemed to be pushed in the back. Page picks up the loose ball and then dances away from a couple of challenges and now has a little bit of space to work towards the edge of the area. Berridge supporting him on the left-hand side. Here is Berridge. Into the box he goes. Right-footed drive. Really good save from Ranshaw. Had to get down well. It's just glistening with rain, this Co-op Community Stadium pitch, as the drizzle comes down here in Warwickshire, and it just skidded off the turf at Renshaw and he got down, palmed it around his post well. Murphy-Worrell. Infield it goes towards Keane. They work it back out to Slew on that left-hand side. Slew just dances infield, looks for some options. Farmer closed him down, so he goes all the way back towards the centre-back to Bone, who's over halfway, and now they have plenty of space to work it down this left-hand side with Lloyd. In towards the penalty area goes Murphy-Worrell, works its way to the edge. Shot in towards the back of the net. Well, it skidded off the turf and Ravenhill couldn't keep it out, and Southport have started this second half much like they started the first, on the front foot, and they've made Leamington pay for it. It's Leamington 0, Southport 1.
And yeah, much to the delight of the Southport fans behind the goal, only about 30, 35 of them. Southport's first away goal of the season, and in it came, skinned on the deck, as you say. Ravenhill got down, couldn't keep it out.
Yeah, and it's Arthur Ganua, the man who's converted, and Ravenhill at full stretch couldn't get down and keep it out. Leamington with their work cut out, 1-0 down here. Evans works one in from deep. Evans tries to send it in towards Lynn! Headed down by Owen Farmer, and Ant Lynn drags Leamington level here at Co-op Community Stadium. His fourth goal for the club. He's been on the pitch for 5 minutes and he gets Leamington level. It was a little bit scrappy as it fell down to him, but the finish was accomplished on his left foot and Ramshaw couldn't keep it out.
Yeah, he was nice and composed, wasn't he, as it fell to him, steered it home past the keeper to restore parity, and Leamington already looks so much better.
Back out towards Keane. Keane closed down by Walker. Minahan, though, does really well. Offloads it back in towards Keane. Good header away by Evans. It's going to fall down towards the edge of the area and sent goalwards by Lavelle, but couldn't get the power behind the strike. The man who turns 20 on Saturday, Ted Lavelle. And it'll be Leamington who clear their balls up towards Ant Lynn, who just does really well to bring it down on the far side and invite Owen Farmer forward. And here come the gold and black. Farmer. Meredith now. Harley advanced on the right-hand side in towards Shaw. Farmer tries to go for a run inside the penalty area. Again, the fans around us want a penalty, but again, it just looked like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Two honest players making an honest challenge, try to out-muscle each other, but again, the Leamington fans certainly felt that there was more in it, Craig.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think, both sets of players, fans are going to appeal for everything. It's slippy, it's sliding, the players are committed. But just to say on Ant Lynn, by the way, I think on Saturday he came on and showed, he's gaining in experience, he's gaining in composure and confidence. On that occasion, for me, what he did that Owen Farmer hasn't done all game is he took himself out to the flank, and the goal kick from Ravenhill was on, straight up to him, chested it and brought others into play, where Farmer has been losing out to the Southport players who are much more physically imposing than him.
Torre comes really deep, dances away from 2 or 3 challenges, then tries to do a little bit too much and just gives it away to Walker, who angles one up towards Lynn again. Lynn sends it high and up towards Shaw, who comes forward. Shaw's going to have a go. It's closed down. It's going to fall to Lynn again. Lynn touches it goalwards. This is a really good save by Renshaw, but I was just about to say Ant Lynn looked far too advanced not to be flagged for offside, and indeed the belated flag goes up from Andrew Bower, the linesman over on the far side. Evans, long throw over on the right hand side, hurls it in towards the penalty area, sends down towards Shaw, who had a right footed drive, but it's up and over the top. But again, good connection, and again Luke Shaw getting on the end of the second balls, which Leamington weren't doing at any occasion in the first half, Craig.
They weren't, and you can see just from the glimpses that I've had of Luke Shaw exactly why Paul Holloran said he had been trying to sign him for 7 years or whatever it was he said over the summer when he brought him to the club. Luke Shaw looks a real player.
Well, ball's going to fall forward towards Ant Lynn, and Renshaw had to be quick off the mark because the centre-backs for Southport just seemed to step out of it a little bit and leave it for Renshaw, but Lynn was nearly on it, but they clear it away. Burton heads one down to Walker, lets it run for Shaw, back to Walker, chips one down the line for Lynn to try and harry Tabone. Tabone clears it only as far as Shaw, and he's into the 18-yard box. Shaw towards the dead ball line, across the face of goal. It's going to come back towards Walker. Really well saved by Renshaw. Got a foot to it and managed to clear it away. Leamington have a corner that'll be taken over on the right-hand side by the recently introduced Luke Shaw. Drills it in towards Walker, who tried to catch his man napping, but they were wise to it, and Ganua cleared. Mocked up though really well by Clark. Meredith sends it back out to the corner taker Shaw, who's still advanced on the right hand side. Thought about the early cross, decides against it, drops a shoulder. Farmer tries to spin his man and gets to the dead ball line, does well, chips it in, headed away by Southport, headed back by Shaw. Overhead kick from Ewan Williams! What a finish by the Leamington number 10! It was held back into the penalty area and it arrived to Ewan Williams, and he thought, well, a bicycle kick is what's called for here, and he's dispatched it into the bottom corner past Renshaw. Ewan Williams, 2 goals to his name this season already. How about a third in fabulous fashion?
Have we just seen the breaks goal of the season? Early to call it, but that was such a good goal. He watched it all the way, didn't he? It came in from Shaw, and there he was with a fantastic overhead kick, bicycle kick into the bottom corner. Renshaw could do nothing about it, and the breaks lead.
Wow, Ewan Williams, he made his name with the winner in the playoff final back in 2023-24 season. Well, tonight he's made a name for himself. Ewan Williams just watched it drop all the way down and dispatched an overhead kick into the bottom corner. Well, when Southport scored, it woke Leamington up. Will Southport now do the same? They're on the attack, ball in towards the penalty area, taken off the toes, but only as far as Lavelle on the edge. Great block by Ewan Williams. Falls out towards the edge. Here's Keane. Picks it up, sends it out towards the number 11 on the right-hand side, Hilton. Can they work it in towards the penalty area? He's got it on the right-hand side still, sends it all the way across the penalty area, and again, no one in a light blue shirt can send it goalwards. They've still got it on the edge, recycled, work back out towards the left-hand side. Many up in a light blue shirt. Joe Clark's going to try and use his experience to watch this one all the way out, and he does watch it all the way out. The Leamington, well, of course, he's now the highest appearance holder in the squad, Joe Clark. 285 up for Joe Clark this evening, and he used all his experience just to watch that one out, Craig.
They did, and Joe Clark is still very important to this Leamington side. But going back to the goal, what I liked about it is you could see how much delight it brought to Ewan Williams, and how much he thought he'd scored a worldie, because he ran one way, then the other. One of those pure moments that only football can bring.
The box is full of the likes of Mackenzie and Hilton and Lavelle and Moore and Tabone. They're all in there waiting for this delivery as we tick in towards the 95th minute here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Free kick on the left, worked in towards a good area, headed down, bodies go down inside the box, shot comes in, blocked by a Leamington body, thrown a body in front of it, I think was Ewan Williams. It's going to be a corner and they're going to try and take it quickly. They take it short, Leamington are sleeping, ball worked in towards the near post, really good header away by Joe Clark, who was then clattered into from the back. Leamington win the free kick. Really good defending from both set pieces from Leamington, Craig.
Yes, and Paul Holloran will be delighted that they managed to clear the ball. Leamington defended both situations really well, which will then please him.
Leamington, long ball into opposition territory, falls down to Lynn on the right hand side. He'll go towards the corner. Chia's there to support him. Chia just holds it up. He'll try and just wind down the clock over on the far side. 2 or 3 Southport men go after him. They win the ball and they escape away through Lloyd. Lloyd sends one long. Everybody's up for Leamington, apart from Ram, Evans and Quainer. So Ram just mops it up and goes all the way back towards Renshaw. Lynn seemed to push his man in the back, did he? It doesn't matter anyway. There goes the full-time whistle. Well, Leamington were under the cosh for much of this game, but they've managed to turn it round here at Kirk Community Stadium. They were much the second best team in the first half, and right at the start of the second half, Arthur Ganua gave Southport the lead, but then Leamington rang the changes, and it wasn't long before they managed to drag themselves level. Antlin off the bench, 60 minutes on the clock, and then of course the ball fell to Ewan Williams in the penalty area with his back to goal. Bicycle kick into the bottom corner past Renshaw, who couldn't keep it out. But it's finished here at Kirk Community Stadium on a Tuesday night in the National League North. Leamington 2, Southport 1. You have a good evening, enjoy your week. I've been Shaun Cashmore, next to me is Craig Barnes, and this has been Breaks Live FM.
Paul, a very hard fought for 3 points out there. Leamington coming from a goal down. Thoughts on today's game?
Everything I thought it would be. I think you have to understand what this league's like, and you can't start looking at league tables after 5-6 games. What you do know, Southport have got some good players. A lot of experience. I looked at the team selection today. I thought it was everything I thought it would be. I thought they started the game better than us. We had to dig in deep to hang on in there for the first 20. As good as they were, we weren't right. I thought we eventually got a grip of the game and got our lines better. Got closer together, got pinch more yards to get up the pitch, and probably finished the first half a bit more like it. Then at the second half, start the second half again, I thought we were sloppy again. It's a good finish from their boy, and you couldn't argue probably at that point they deserved to be in front. And we probably struggled for another 10 minutes after that. I think something probably I've got to look at is a lot of players that are new to the level, and when you're playing Saturday, Monday, Saturday, Tuesday, until you sort of run around at this level and you see how much it takes out your body. I think it was there for all to see that we didn't quite. Our structure wasn't quite right, but we were running out of legs. We were out of legs a little bit, and sometimes maybe in the wide areas, attacking areas, in the high midfield areas, players do a lot of leg work, and trying to. The amount of games we've played and with the travelling, you could see we were zapped a little bit. So. Similar to Saturday, one of the most pleasing things is that we've made 5 subs, but we've made 3 early in the game. A slight tinker with the shape, and just to try and give us a bit more focal point, give us a bit more quality with Luke, and a player going from out to win with Owen just to get closer to Anthony. Put Ewan higher up the pitch, which he probably prefers. And to be fair, it looks like a masterstroke, but he's not really. Just I touched on it Saturday about being able to use the depth, and I think you've got to be brave enough with the amount of games that I'm able to use the whole squad. And so it's really pleasing today again that them 3 have come on and made an immediate impact. It's not just the 3 coming on; it's just allowed us to change our shape a little bit, and which we're more familiar with. The 2 goals are fantastic. Antlin's give us a different dimension. Owens obviously give us a different dimension off the right, and Luke Shaw's give us somebody that's really comfortable on the ball and travels well with the ball, and you can see what he'll bring to the team as we go along. So, and it just allowed Clarkey to go in there, and all of a sudden, for the first time in the game, we got a little bit of control. We started. I felt probably for the first hour, nearly, it was their system that was sort of that. Apart from little spells, was on top of the game. But I felt then we got on top of the game. And we were clinical then with them couple of opportunities. I think on another day we might have got another one, we might have got a pen, I don't know. But it was a real good turnaround with the group we've got, to sort of turn the game round, and the manner that we went about our business in that period. Really got an extra pass in here and there, stretched them. We were direct. We got the fullbacks up the pitch. Got some quality in the box, and delighted really, especially for Anthony, because Anthony's he's worked really hard since he's come to the club, and you can see this summer he's done better, and he's been coming on and doing well. It's lovely for him to get all number 9s and they to score goals, and he's deserved a goal, definitely. Got an assist Saturday, got a goal today, so it's great for him. Shorey getting more and more minutes, which is a big plus, because we all know how good Luke is, but he's had a lot of time out of football, and it's not just him getting back into football; it's getting back into step 2 football, which is a level of football he hasn't played for a long time. So really, that for me, that's probably that's answered a lot of questions tonight, because we took a bit of a beating there at times tonight, and we've shown some character and resilience. Some of the younger players, we've been able to fight back, change things a little bit, make an impact off the bench, and come out in the end probably worthy winners, just about, I think. We've had to, for different, listen, our recruitment this year, we've had to do what we've done, just where we are as a football club. We've had to go even deeper into non-league football and take gambles on some step 4 players. We got Ant Lynn from step 4, we got Ewan Williams from step 4, as well as the boys this year. And you can see the improvement with sort of Tim Berridge getting used, played most of his career in step 3. You can see him this year, he looks more like a step 2 player, and you'll see that with some of these as they get time at the level and whatever. The only problem is people keep coming and buying them off us or taking them off us, which is a bit of a problem. But listen, that's where it is. It's great. But no, that's a really good weekend for us. That's a really, really good weekend, because we were excellent Saturday against a very good side, and Southport have played well tonight, and we've took a bit of a beating for a period, but we've come back fighting, and we've regrouped, restructured, and come back and thrown a few punches ourselves. That's a good night, good weekend for us.